Everybody, welcome, welcome. This is Barre Sculpt. My name is Amanda. So for today's class, you will need a set of light weights. You'll also want a ball. So two options. You can have a larger ball, so it's like a larger Pilates ball. You can have a smaller ball. We're going to be placing it between our palms, between our thighs, under our heels. We'll be placing it on our lower back for some of the core work. So again, vary that ball size however you'd like based on what we're going to be doing. From here, let's go ahead and start with our warm-up. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Drawing your toes nice and pointed. Drawing your knees up towards your chest. Shoulders remain stacked directly over your hips. Core is engaged. Arms by your side. One more in each leg. Draw your arms up high overhead. Continue with the knee drives. On the next one, we're going to draw the arms down, tap behind you, draw them up, draw them down, draw them up, draw them down, draw them up. Arms remain straight here. One more each side. All right, go ahead and release your feet down. Feet are wider than your hips, toes are turned out, arms are out to a T. Tiny circles here, palms are facing down. Relax your shoulders down from your ears. Maybe draw your head side to side, one ear to one shoulder. Coming back to center, reverse the direction of your circles. Maybe shaking your head yes and no, chin to chest. Drawing your head back. Just still drawing those tiny circles with your hands. Come back to center from here. Reach your arms up high overhead, cross your palms left over right, draw your elbows down, and then cross right over left. So you're alternating which hand is crossing in front here, drawing your elbows wide and down, opening up your chest, crisscrossing your palms, right over left, left over right, and just alternating. Deep inhales. Deep exhales, reach and pull, reach and pull. One more on each side. From here, draw your arms back out to a T. We're going to bend and extend the knees. Avoid locking out your knees as you rise to stand. Your toes are still turned outward. Your shoulders are still stacked directly over your hips. Avoid hinging forward, maybe side to side. On the next one, hold the bend in the knees. We're going to reach down, tap towards the opposite foot, ankle, shin, knee, and then rise back up, tap down, and lift. Reach, tap, and lift. Reach for whatever you can. Maintain that bend in the knees. So avoid straightening your legs as you rise up, stacking your shoulders directly over your hips. Few more here. And rise, one more on each side. And rise. All right, from here, gently hinge forward at your waist. Give yourself a nice big hug and then squeeze your arms together as you lift your arms up towards the ceiling, trying to draw your shoulder blades to touch. Few more. One more. From here, gently release your right foot on the floor. Untuck your right toes, pressing into your left knee. Chin and chest is lifted, allowing your right hip to open. From here, draw your hips back, straighten that left leg, and then press your hips forward, drop back, and press it forward. Your toes are slightly turned outward, maybe to 11 o'clock, maybe to 10 o'clock. On the next one, hold your hips pressed forward. That left knee is stacked directly over your left hip. And then walk your left toes to the outer edge, opening up your hips. So your toes are turned outward. Your foot is directly out from your left hip. We're just going to press forward, opening up our hip flexors even more here. Just keeping the right foot relaxed. From here, draw your hips back, straighten that left leg, and then press it forward. So just your left leg is turned outward to maybe 9 o'clock, maybe to 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. Any slight variation, then directly in front of you, your right knee is still under your right hip as you press your hips back. On the next one, hold that left leg straight. Point, flex, maybe circle out that left ankle. Maybe just wiggle your toes. Hold the left toes flexed, hinge forward, framing your left foot. Maybe bringing the crown of your head towards your toes, feeling that stretch all along the back side of your left leg. Gently walk your hands back under your hips, rise up, release your left knee down, switching sides. Right foot steps forward, pressing into that right knee, allowing your left hip to open here, chin and chest stays lifted. Your left knee is down, left toes are untucked. From here, draw your hips back and then press your hips forward. So both of your knees and your feet are in line with your hips. A few more here. On the next one, hold your hips forward and then walk your toes outward. So your right toes are now pointed to maybe 1 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, pressing your knee over your toes. Draw your hips back, straighten that right leg, and then press it forward. A deeper stretch on that right hip. Two more. On the next one, hold your hips back, hold your right leg straight, point, flex, maybe circle out that right ankle, chin and chest stays lifted here. Maybe wiggle those toes. All right, on your next breath, hold your right toes, flex, fold forward over your right leg, maybe bringing your nose towards your knee, heart towards your thigh. This time feeling the stretch deepening all along the back side of your right leg. Holding here and breathing. Gently walk yourself up, rise up, roll your shoulders back. Roll them forward, shake out anything else that you may need to. Maybe grab a sip of water. All right, we're gonna get right on into it. So, we're gonna grab that ball, your ball of choice, and those light weights in our hands. So 1 weight in each hand. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Your right heel is underneath that ball. So just go ahead and place your right heel under that ball. It's gonna be nice and cozy there. I'm gonna walk myself back. 1 weight in each hand. Your left foot is flat. So from here, bring 1 weight in each hand, weights up to your shoulders, your right heel lifted using that ball. Come down to a low squat, press up, overhead press. Palms are facing in. Keep it going. Low squat, overhead press. Right heel stays lifted with the use of that ball. And if you don't have a ball, you can use a pillow. You can use a block. It could be a little bit uncomfortable given the rigid structure of it. The point here with the ball is you don't want it to roll around underneath your heel. So really draw your right heel in, pressing the ball of your right foot in towards the floor. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Squatting down lower, chest stays lifted. Keep it going. From here, bring yourself down to that low wide squat. Arms are by your side. You're in this squat. Pulse out with your arms raised and lift to lower. So you're staying in that squat. Keep your shoulders relaxed down from your ears. Palms are facing down towards the floor. Raise and lower. You're drawing your palms to shoulder height. Keep it going, slow and controlled here. Maybe finding a beat to a song that you're listening to. Your left toes are pressed firmly into the floor. Big toe to pinky toe, straight back to your heel. Your right heel remains lifted. The ball of your right foot's pressed in towards the floor. Maybe just your big toe, maybe just your pinky toe. Keep it going. That's it. We're not coming all the way up to a standing position. Just a slightly lesser bend in your knees. All right, hold the deep bend in your knees. Arms are out to a T. Tiny circles here. Yes, I know it's going to burn those shoulders. Keep your shoulders relaxed down from your ears. Tiny circles. That's it. Few more. We're going to switch directions. You've got this. Almost there. Go ahead and reverse that circle. Tiny circles. Opposite direction. Maybe sink your hips lower. Chest stays lifted. Yes, you can. You are stronger than you think. Keep it going. Focus here on your breath. Maybe sink your hips an inch or two lower. Right heel lifted. Left foot flat. That's it. We're holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your arms down. Release your right heel. Wiggle out that right foot. All right, now we're going to switch. That ball is now under your left heel. Right foot is planted. Your feet are directly under your hips, hip width apart and parallel. From here, we're going to come down to that squat. Your palms are facing outward. Squat down low. Press up as you rise to stand. Keep it going. Tucking those elbows in towards your rib cage as you lower your hips in that squat. As you rise to stand, you're pressing your arms overhead. Avoid locking out your standing knee. That is your right knee. You're always going to have a micro bend in that right knee, even deeper bend in your left. Keep it going. Left heel remains lifted using that object. Ball, pillow, maybe a block. If you're using a ball, avoid letting that ball roll side to side. Really press your heel in. Keep it going. Give me one more. All right, from here, come back down to that squat. Bring your palms out in front. Palms are facing down. We have a tiny pulse, arms raised forward, and lift lower. Pulse the hips down, raise the arms, lower the arms, slightly lift the hips. Now you're not lifting back to a straight standing position. You're always keeping the bend in the knees. You're just slightly coming a little bit higher and then bending deeper, drawing your palms up towards shoulder height and then releasing them back down to your hips. Keep it going. Almost there. Still going. Still moving. Squat, forward raise, and lower. We're going to hold in that squat. We're going to hold those arms out in front. And we're going to draw little circles here. All right, next one, hold it low. Give me those tiny circles. Palms remain facing down. If the weights become too much at any point in time throughout the workout, set it off to the side. Same thing with the ball under your heel. If it's just too much, you can just hold your heel lifted using just your body weight. We're working the top of that left quad by keeping that heel raised. All right, reverse that circle. Tiny circles, opposite direction. Keep it going. You are so close. That's it. Stay with it. Relax shoulders down from your ears. Avoid letting those shoulders creep up. Relax your eyebrows. Relax your forehead. You're just circling out your arms. You're keeping your hips low. Maybe sink your hips an inch or two lower. That's it. You got 3, 2, and 1. Release those weights down. We're going to set the weights off to the side, and we're going to just use that ball. So using that ball of choice, we're going to come to a wide plie position. So your feet are wider than your hips. Your toes are turned out. Now they can be slightly turned out from parallel, or they can be turned out a full 90-degree angle, your choice. Bend deep into your knees, ball between your palms. From here, we're going to tap the right elbow to the right knee as we pop that right heel and lower. Just when you thought we were done lifting and lowering that right heel, we're coming right back into it, but this time that ball is between our palms. We're squeezing that ball. As you draw your right elbow down towards your right knee and lifting that right heel, you want to stack that top left shoulder directly over your bottom right. Keep it going. Almost there. Give me one more to the right side, and then yes, you guessed it, same thing to left. So left elbow to left knee. As you lift that left heel, come back to center. Now notice that right side of my body is not moving. That right leg from my right hip down to my right pinky toe is not moving. I'm simply drawing my left elbow down towards my left knee. They do not have to make contact, but you do want to reach in that direction. Actively trying to crunch your left oblique, stacking your right shoulder directly over your bottom left. Keep it going. Almost there. That's it. Keep it going. Just the left elbow to left knee and rise. One more. All right, from here, we're going to press that ball between our palms, still in that position. Elbows are wide, our hips are low, our shoulders tucked over our hips. We're going to draw that ball forward as we lift the right heel, draw it in and switch. Left heel, ball forward, draw it in. Notice, I am not rising up. My chest, my shoulder are not rising up as I lift my heel. Simply just that heel lifts, draw it in, heel lifts, draw it in. My head is not moving. Everything from my hip, my waist up to the crown of my head is completely still between my torso. You've got it. Press it forward, lift the heel, release, draw that ball in towards your chest. Keep it going. You've got it. We're going to pick up those weights one more time. Give me one more on each side. And release. Shake it out. All right, from here, we're going back to those weights. We're keeping that ball. This ball is going to be your BFF the entire class. You guys know I'm not one to be using a whole bunch of equipment. I'll only use it a little bit part of the class. All right, place that ball between your thighs. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. One weight in each hand. From here, give me a squat with a bicep curl. And lift. Palms are facing up here. So we're firing at those quads a little bit more. By squeezing that ball, we are working the inner and outer thighs. Actively working those biceps. Chest stays lifted. Keep it going. Almost there. You got it. Bicep curl, low squat. Keep it going. Just a few more. Full curl, full extend. All right, on the next one, hold yourself in that low squat. Elbows are bent to 90. From here, we have a lift and a lower, bent fly lift and a lower. So your hips are nice and low, your elbows lift, your elbows lower. Squeezing that ball actively between your thighs. Lift and lower. Keep it going. All right, on the next one, draw your elbows in, bring your palms facing in. Same thing, lift and lower. Notice what different muscles are working in your back. Are you squeezing your shoulder blades together now that your palms are facing in as you lower your elbows down towards your rib cage? Keep it going. We will stretch all of this at the end of class. Don't you worry. Elbows lift, elbows lower. All right, hold those elbows lifted. From here, extend and bend. Elbows extend and elbows bend. Very nice. Chest stays lifted. Maybe sink your hips an inch or two lower. Feet remain flat on the floor. Elbows extend. Elbows bend. You've got this. Keep it going. Just a few more here. The good news, we only have 2 more moves here, and then we're coming down to the floor. Keep it going. All right, hold the arms out to a T. Bring your palms facing up towards the ceiling. Draw the elbows in, and then extend. Draw them in, and then extend. Your palms are facing outward, the same direction that you're looking. Your hips are nice and low. If they haven't already felt it by now, you should definitely feel that burn in your lower body. Keep it going. Arms extend, elbows pull in. Imagine you're trying to squeeze a pencil between your shoulder blades, and then release. Tiny squeeze and release. All right, on the next one, we're gonna hold those elbows in. Just squeeze and squeeze. So your elbows are out to the side. You're squeezing your shoulder blades. Imagine you're trying to draw your elbows in towards one another. Squeeze and squeeze. Tiny movements here. Just squeezing those elbows in. That's 5 and 4. Last 3, 2, and 1. All right, set those weights down off to the side. Come on down to the floor. All right, from here we're going to find a tabletop position. We're going to place that ball behind our right knee. So to keep that ball in place, whether it's a ball, a pillow, or a block, you want to draw that right heel close into your glute. Maybe extend your legs straight, place the ball right at the crease, and then draw your heel in. Your wrists are directly under your shoulders. Your knees are directly under your hips. From here, we have a right heel lift and lower. Your right toes are flexed. So pressing your sole of your foot up towards the ceiling. Imagine you're trying to stamp the sole of your foot up on the wall. And release. Press up and release. Keep it going. Tiny movements here. You can keep your gaze down towards the floor between your thumb and index finger to avoid straining your neck, looking side to side. Do not worry, I will let you know what is coming up next. We've got 3 more here. And release. Press up and release. 1 more. On this next one, I want you to hold that right heel up towards the ceiling and press and press. Tiny presses. You're really stamping the sole of your foot up towards that ceiling. Draw your navel in towards your spine. Avoid rounding or arching your back. Your navel is pulling deep to your spine to protect your back. Keep it going. Little press and press. Keep it going. Tiny movements here. Almost there. On the next one, release your right knee in line under your right hip. Release your left elbow on the floor. Keep your right hand boxed out. We're going to lift that right leg out from the hip and draw it in line. Lift it directly out from the hip and draw it in line. It does not matter how high you get that right leg. All that matters is you're opening up that right hip. You're working the outer right glute here. Keeping that right heel in towards your glutes, squeezing that ball, squeezing whatever object you choose to use behind your right knee. You can also use a weight if that is more comfortable for you. Just remember to use whatever object on the right side, also on the left side. Keep it going. Lift and lower. Just lift and lower. Keep it going. Give me 3 more. Heel in close towards your glutes. Squeeze that object. 1 more. All right, release that right knee down. Set that ball to the side. Maybe patter out your toes. All right, from here, place your right hand underneath that ball. So we're going to stick with the right side. Left hand is under your left shoulder, just directly on the floor. From here, we're going to send the left leg long and draw it back in line. Just kick back in line. So you do not want your right arm wobbling around. If it is, put that ball off to the side, placing your right hand on the floor. Your back is flat. Avoid rounding your spine outwards towards the ceiling. Avoid arching your spine, hammock your belly down. You want a nice flat back by drawing your navel deep into your core. If you can, if you like to add more heat to that core, place that ball under your right palm. Kick that left leg straight back. Draw it in. 2 more. 1 more. All right, release it down. From here, grab that ball. Place it behind your left knee. Both hands are directly back under your shoulders. Your knees directly under your hips. Flex your left foot. From here, press it up and release. Gentle press and release. Now as you press that heel up towards the ceiling, avoid opening up your hip. Keep your hips nice and square. Imagine that your hips are headlights guiding you along the way. We'll get to that hip opener portion towards the end of class. We're just pressing the heel up and then releasing it down. You can keep your right toes tucked or the top shoelace portion of your foot flat on the floor, but your left heel is to remain flexed. So you're pressing the sole of your foot up towards the ceiling and then releasing it. 2 more. On this next one, you know what to do. Hold that foot towards the ceiling and press. And press. Tiny presses here. You are just pressing the sole of your left foot up towards the ceiling. The same thing you did on the right side. We're repeating it on the left side. Keeping everything symmetrical here. Just tiny presses, really stamping the sole of your right foot up towards the ceiling. Press and press. Keep it going. Almost there. Tiny movements. Navel is pulled into your spine. I'm just going to turn around this way. So when we go into our outer left glute movement, it'll be fluid for you all. That's 3 and 2 and 1. Gently release that left knee down. Release your right forearm onto the floor, palm facing up. Keep your left hand boxed out. Just open and lower tap, open and tap. Now you can open a few inches and release, tiny open and release. You can open at any degree, 45, maybe 90. You can open up even further without forcing it. So you're keeping your left heel still in towards your left glute. Squeezing that ball, that block, or that pillow. Avoid leaning into the right side. Now is when you really open up that left hip. We're working the outermost part of our left glute here. Just the lift and lower. Lift and lower. That's it. Stay with it. Keep it going. 3 more. 2 more. Find that rhythm. Last one. Release that left knee down. Bring that block out in front. Maybe patter out your toes. All right, block is under that left hand. Right hand directly under your right shoulder. Left hand also under your left shoulder, but also on that ball. Your left leg is completely sober. Extend that right leg straight back and then draw it in. Kick it back and draw it in. So your hips are facing down. We're not opening up that right hip. We're keeping everything in line. If that ball becomes distracting, set it off to the side. Your back is flat, so avoid arching or rounding your spine. Just a nice flat back. Kick it back. Draw it in. Kick it back. Draw it in. You've got this. Keep it going. 2 more. Last one. Very nice. Go ahead and set your knees down. We're going to grab that ball again and those weights. So we're coming onto your back for some core. I'm using a larger ball just because it's easier to place it behind your lower back. We're going to round back onto that ball. One weight is in each hand. Your feet are hip width apart and parallel. Your knees are bent, so your feet are flat on the floor. That can be at any angle, whatever is more comfortable for you. Arms are directly out in front. We're going to pull that left arm back and twist and reach forward. Just left arm and forward. Pull and extend. Pull and extend. You're really twisting at your rib cage. That right arm is completely still. Stay with it. Remember to continue breathing here. Avoid holding your breath, even if you're trying to focus. Keep moving. Pull and extend. Imagine you're trying to pull a bow and arrow. And release. Pull and release. 2 more. Last one. All right, left arm remains still. Now we're going to pull the right arm and twist and draw forward. Pull that elbow back and release. Notice we're working those shoulders today. Keep it going. Maybe lean further back into that ball. Use that equipment. Make the best use of that equipment. Pull and release. Keep it going. That's it. You've got this. Still going. Still moving. Give me 2 more. Last one. All right, both arms out in front. Frankenstein arms. Now we're going to alternate. Left arm, extend right arm. Anybody else's arms feeling like Jell-O? You've got this. You are stronger than you think. Avoid letting your toes come up off the floor. Avoid letting your heels lift up off the floor. Keep those feet planted. Imagine that your feet are glued to the floor. Maybe round your waistband closer down towards the floor as you roll back to that ball. Try not to come back forward. You've got it. 5 more on each side. Just pull and extend. Pull and extend. That is it. Keep it going. We're going to set those weights down here after 3 more on each side. Yes, you can. I know those arms are feeling like Jell-O. You've got this. Power through. 1 more. All right. Extend the arms. Draw the weights off to the side. Bring your hands by your hips, or you can draw your arms out in front. Any variation, but you want to lean back towards that ball. Draw your navel into your spine. From here, we're going to lift that right leg to a hover to point and draw it in and point. So that right leg is not touching the floor at all. Once it lifts, you're extending it and bending it. Gentle extend and bend. Left foot is flat on the floor. Right leg extends. Right leg bends. Extend and bend. Keep it going. Maybe draw your elbows closer towards the floor if you can. If that ball is distracting, set it off to the side. That's it. Last one. Gently plant that right foot back in line with the left. Extend your left leg. Draw it in. Point through your toes. Extend. Draw it in. Extend. Draw it in. So just the left leg is moving now. Everything else is still. Keep it going. Extend. Draw it in. Extend. Draw it in. You've got this. Roll your waistband closer towards the floor. 2 more. Last one. All right. Go ahead and plate that left leg. I'm gonna get the block off to the side. It's a little bit distracting for me. You still with your hands by your hips or hovering your shins. Draw your legs up. Extend the right leg, draw it in. Left leg, draw it in. So now we're just alternating. And this time, both of your feet are lifted off the floor. So not a single foot is planted while one leg is working. Actively working both legs at the same time and alternate extending one leg and bending, extending and bending. All right, zip your legs together, one line, extend and bend. 9 more. And 8. 7 more. Point through your toes even more. That's it. I'm still counting. You're halfway there. Roll your waistband closer towards the floor. 4 more. And 3. And 2. Last one. Yes, you did it. Butterfly out your knees. Draw the soles of your feet to touch. Let's do a quick little stretch. Butterfly your knees, lift lower. Cross your right foot in front of your left. So crisscross applesauce, right foot in front of left, and then walk yourself forward. Walk yourself back. This is a mini stretch. Cross left over right. Walk yourself forward. Walk yourself back. All right, go ahead and come back to your position. Grab that ball if you would like. We're going to place that ball under our right heel. We're going to roll all the way back. So that right heel is lifted. Your left foot is flat on the floor. Glute bridge raise and lower. Lift and lower. Oh yeah, firing up those glutes. Firing up that right hamstring. You got this. Right heel lifted. Right toes press in towards the floor. Give me 3 more here. And 2. And 1. All right, lower your hips. Wheel that ball over to the left heel. Lucky left side. So your left heel is lifted from the ball. Your right foot's flat on the floor. We're going to lift and lower the glutes and tap. Lift and tap. Your shoulders are staying pressed in towards the floor. So our focus right now are the glutes. You're lowering, tapping, lifting to squeeze, lower, tap, lift to squeeze. Imagine that your glutes are a sponge, that kitchen sponge, and you want to get all of that excess water out of that sponge. That's how hard you're squeezing your glutes. Give me 2 more. And 1. All right, lower your hips down. Roll that ball towards the middle. Now place both of your heels in the ball. Your toes are slightly fanned out. Your knees are also fanned out, depending on how large your ball is from here. Yes, you guessed it. Lift and lower. 9 more. And 8. That's 7. 6 more. You've got 5. And 4. 3 more. 2. And 1. All right, lower the hips down. Grab that ball. Place it between your thighs. Now your feet are hip width apart and parallel. That ball's between your thighs. Your feet are flat on the floor. Hands by your side, just relaxed. From here, squeeze, lift, squeeze, lower, squeeze, lift, squeeze, lower. Barely tapping your hips on the floor before lifting right back up again. All right, on the next one, hold the hips high, squeeze and squeeze. Tiny squeeze of that ball here. You get 10 and 9. That's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 more, 3, 2, and 1. Release your hips down, set that block off to the side. With your feet still hip width apart and parallel, let your knees fall over to the left. Maybe cactus out your arms. Come back through the center, let your knees follow over to the right. Come back through center, extend your right leg up towards the ceiling. Point, flex, circle out that right ankle. You can keep your eyes closed, you can open your eyes, just gazing up towards the ceiling, maybe your right toes. Bending your right knee, draw your right ankle over your left thigh. Flex your right foot to protect your right knee, and then let your right knee fall over to the right. Maybe it taps, maybe you have a door in your way. Come back through center, draw that left knee over to the side, rise back up, right knee down, one more each side. Try to keep your shoulders in towards the floor. This is a nice spinal rotation. Come back through middle, square out your hips, draw your right leg back towards the ceiling. Maybe extend your left leg long. Maybe grab the back side of your right calf, avoiding your knee. You can also grab the back side of your thigh. Left leg long, right leg up towards the ceiling, point flex, circle out that right ankle. Maybe draw your chin towards your thigh. And then switching sides, right foot down, left foot up towards the ceiling, maybe cactus out your arms again, point, flex, circle out that left foot. Give that foot some love. All right, bend your left knee. Draw your outside of your left ankle to your right thigh. Flex your left foot to protect your left knee. Let your left knee fall over to the left. Does not have to tap anything. Come back through center. Let your right knee fall over to the right. Come back through center. One more time on each side. Keep those shoulders in towards the floor if you can. Over to the left. Come back to center. Over to the right. Come back through center. Extend your left leg up towards the ceiling. Extend your right leg long. Maybe grab the back side of your left calf. Maybe your left thigh. Avoid grabbing anywhere around your knee area. Right leg can be hovering or flat on the floor. Maybe pointing, flexing your left foot some more. Maybe drawing your nose towards your knee, heart towards your thigh. Gently draw both your legs up towards the ceiling. Point, flex, circle out your ankles, bend your knee. Grab opposite ankles and then pull your ankles in towards the opposite hip. You're welcome to hold it here, holding onto your ankles, or you can release that bind. We're going to rock and roll ourselves up 3 times. 2 more. Last one. Gently rock up. Have a seat on your bum. Extend your right leg long, sole of your left foot in toward your right leg. Release your right hand down to the inside of your right leg. Left arm comes up high overhead. Chin and chest is lifted. Side bend over to the right side. Looking out under your left armpit. On your exhale, gently rotate, framing your right foot. Point through your right toes. Maybe bringing your nose towards your knee. Heart towards your thigh. Maybe bending your elbows down. Gently rotating onto that left side to open up your shoulder even more. Gently release your bind, walking your hands back in towards your hips. Switching sides, left leg long, draw a sole of your right foot inside of your left leg. Left hand down the inside of your left leg. Right arm comes up high overhead. Chin and chest is lifted. Looking out under your right arm. Feeling that deep side bend all along the right side body. Gently rotate your right arm down, framing your left foot, pointing your left toes. Maybe bringing the crown of your head towards your toes. Gently rolling onto that right shoulder, maybe bending your elbows more. And walk your hands back to center. Keep your left leg extended. Extend your right leg long, coming to a wide straddle. You can make it more narrow or wider. Maybe rock your hips side to side, making sure your sit bones are on the floor. You are welcome to stay right here where you're at with your shoulders stacked over your hips. You can also walk your hands out in front, folding forward, bringing the crown of your head towards the floor. Maybe rotating your arches also towards the floor. On your next exhale, gently rock yourself back forward. Fantastic work, everyone, today. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Again, this is Barre Sculpt. Hope you enjoyed it. See you all next time. Thank you.